Welcome in TNC Radio.live. This is Taillights with Angie and Larry Baums.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Angie.
I'm Larry, and we barely survived the weekend.
Yes, we had a wild weekend at Matt's. As Tom was talking in the show before us, we all went to the Mid-America Truck Show, and I think Larry and I were along with some of our friends, came back with a pretty nasty cold.
I do have a cough and a sore throat, but it was worth every minute of it. I had a freaking blast.
And we actually met some really good friends there who are actually on our show tonight. So tonight we've got Tanya and Ryan, and we actually met them in our hotel, and they were at the Mid-America Truck Show as well. And they work for a company called Open Road Drivers Plan, and so they're going to talk to us a little bit about that. But Tanya, I'll let you go first, and so we'll let ladies go first. If you want to say hi and say a little bit about yourself, and then Ryan, you can go next.
All right. Hi, I'm Tanya. Like Angie said, I work at Open Road Drivers Plan. I've been there for about 4 years now. This year, I had the very great opportunity to go down to the MATS convention. Was my first year ever, and I'm already looking forward to going back next year. It was an amazing show, an amazing opportunity, and obviously just met some really great people while we were there.
Absolutely. All right, Ryan, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Ryan. I'm also with Open Road Driver Plan. I'm coming up on about a year here in June. And yeah, that truck show, that was my first one that I've ever been to. And it was just such a great experience. Everyone I met was just so nice and welcoming. Just a great group of people. Obviously, meeting Angie and Larry and having the honor to do this show is another huge accomplishment from the show. So I'm looking forward to diving in here and talking about some CDL protection plans.
I just wish you guys stayed one more night, because that last night was boring without you guys.
Yes, we spent every night at Matt's with Tanya and Ryan, and we had such a blast. And then the last night...
What was the last night? Because we had to get out, and we had 2 flights we had to take to get back to Kansas City, so we didn't get in until about 12:30 Sunday morning. But what was the event we missed Saturday evening?
Nothing. Us. It was us. Nothing important.
We missed you guys that night. So you guys actually had to check out of the hotel Saturday morning before you went to Matt's.
Correct.
So you left to the airport right after you shut down your booth.
Once the booth was done, we stopped by Angie's booth. We hoped we'd catch you guys before you left, but you guys were already back in the truck. Yeah, shut it down and then headed to the airport and continued our journey home.
Man. Yeah, that was a blast. You guys really made it. You were my favorite people of all the people that we met. And I'm glad you're on our show. This is an honor.
I agree.
Yeah, just hearing your guys' story from passing out the gift cards to the truck drivers during the coronavirus to the truckers' final mile, everything that you guys do.
We handed out 2 gift cards today.
There we go. I mean, you guys are just great people. And
you guys are the true heroes.
Oh.
Yep.
So tell us what you do. You got, it's called ORDP, Open Road Drivers Plan. You could save us drivers from, once we get a ticket, you could help our DAC report or let us know what it's about.
Yeah, so we have customizable solutions that meet the needs of owner-operators to fleets of all sizes. So whether you're just a one-person operation or a large fleet, we want to help you grow with that. We have a couple of different plans. We have a classic plan that helps both drivers and their spouse. This protects them in their truck and personal vehicle. So if you are pulled over, get a speeding ticket, overweight citation, those things, you basically just take a picture of the ticket, send it in to us. Then we have lawyers nationwide that are actually CDL specific, that'll be able to help you out. We got a 92% success rate on that. So yeah, it's a great little program here to keep you on the road.
That's pretty cool. So you could get it like totally wiped off, DAC report, no court, no nothing, get it like it never even happened.
Yeah, it's a 92% success rate to get it dismissed or reduced. Tanya, I'll let you speak. I didn't mean to jump in there.
No, you're fine. So Ryan here is our sales rep. So let me kind of go into the other side of it a little bit. So when you drivers, when you're CDL holders, you guys get a ticket that affects your MVR or your CDL. We have a 92% success rate of, like Ryan said, of getting things either dismissed completely or at least reduced to a lesser violation or a non-point, non-moving violation. If you happen to get an examination or an inspection when you got the ticket, then yes, we, as part of your service, it's at no extra fee, we will go on to the FMCSA website and we will then tell them, hey, we got this reduced. It's no longer valid. You need to take this off this driver's PSP or the company's CSA. And we will make sure that that is taken off of that for you to help you guys keep your PSP and your safety scores down. Because when it comes time to renew your insurance or for your company to renew your insurance, you all want the lowest scores possible. And that's what we help you do.
So when it comes to things you cannot fix, what are some of the things you cannot fix on the report?
Great
Well,
question.
are we talking?
Like fail a drug test.
ahead,
You
Brian.
can't fix that.
So yeah, there are certain things that we don't cover, things that would, get you fired to begin with. So that would be driving under the influence, drug charges, things with weapons, hit and runs. Am I missing anything?
Leaving the scene of an accident.
Yeah, that would go with the hit and run. And then the other one would be like if you're required to wear contacts or glasses and for some reason you're not wearing those, that is not covered. And then also, we do not sue companies. So if you're out there and you want to go after somebody that did you wrong, we don't get involved with that. This is strictly moving violations that we deal with.
That is
Right.
really
So we don't cover anything civil charge.
That makes a lot of sense. I was gonna say, I know you said you had a 92% success rate, and that's pretty awesome because, I mean, that's the biggest thing as a truck driver. You got to have a clean record, whether, you're working for your current employer or whether maybe down the road you're thinking about going to a new employer. That's pretty important to have on the record, have, a clean record, no points on it. But I said, do you ever get some of those weird phone calls when you're just like, I can't believe you think that we're going to be able to take that off your record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one person in a personal vehicle going 107 with a DUI attached to it. I was like, wow, you're supposed to be, a professional driver held to higher standards. What are you thinking? They come in, they're not, I guess maybe 2 or 3 a month that are just really weird where it's like, you need to, find somebody specific for what you just did. We
need to record and say guilty and do your time.
or pay a lot for a really great lawyer that's going to get you off.
Or potentially look
Right
for
now, in the
something else to do.
In the instances where we don't cover it, so what we call those we call those exclusions to our plan. In the instance that you do call us and you have a membership with us, or you just need, you're trying to sign up for a membership with us and you're like, hey, I have this ticket, can you help? And we say, nope, that's an exclusion to our plan. We will offer what we call a non-covered attorney referral, where, we will give you the name and number of an attorney in that area that might be willing to help you. It's just, we're not going to pay for it. Like, we realize that you still need help. And so part of what we offer is that, instead of you taking the time to, hunt down an attorney in that area and all that, we will still help you in that aspect. We'll still, give you the name and number of an attorney who might be willing to help you, but it's just not something we guarantee. It's not something we cover.
Right. We're going to go to a break in a little bit. And when we come back, we'll talk about the membership and the stuff you covered about how they began. But before we leave, how can somebody get a hold of you?
Yeah, so we're in the office. Well, I am from 8 to 5 Central Time. If you want to call on now and leave a message, I'll get back to you first thing in the morning. My direct line is 913-348-3138. So once again, that's 913-348-3138. 348-3138.
Very good. What about a website? Oh,
Website-wise, you can also go to protectmycdl.com. And we'll have all the information that we're going over today.
go ahead, Tanya. Your turn.
Nope, I was going to throw out that website.
Go. Okay, perfect.
All right, we're going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be talking with Tanya and Ryan all about how you can protect your CDL and help remove those tickets off of your DAC report. So stick around. We'll be back in just a few minutes. You're listening to Taillights with the Baums.
There are many benefits to being a truck driver, such as freedom on the open road and seeing new places. There's still negative sides like loneliness and boredom. Truck driving is also difficult for your marriage. Being away from your spouse for days or weeks at a time makes it challenging to have a happy and healthy marriage. Thankfully, truck drivers have the option to team drive with their spouse. Forming a husband and wife trucking team can be a great opportunity to spend time together and travel the United States while making good money. Now, like any other job, driving with your spouse has pros and cons. Stay with me to find out if team driving with your spouse is right for you. Now, the pros of team driving with your spouse. Faster delivery. Due to the FMCSA's hours of service regulations, truck drivers can only drive up to 11 hours a day. Any driving after 11 hours will result in a penalty and a bad safety score. Truckers on average will drive up to 55-60 miles an hour. After their 11-hour shift, that adds up to a little over 600 miles a day. When you drive with your spouse, you can drive more miles. While you're finishing your 11-hour shift, your spouse can be resting and getting ready for their shift. This allows drivers to complete more miles a day, which in return leads to a faster delivery. You won't feel lonely. Driving alone can lead to developing mental health issues later on in your trucking career. Studies show that depression and anxiety are some of the most common mental health issues in drivers today. Team driving with your spouse eliminates feeling lonely on the road. Having your spouse with you on the road gives you someone to talk to and enjoy your daily activities with. Make more money. A single truck driver makes less money per mile than one whose team drives. Why is that? Well, with two drivers, you're completing more miles each day, and therefore you reach your destination much quicker. Cons of team driving with your spouse. Difficulty getting along. They say that distance makes the heart grow fonder, and that's true. It can be difficult to get along with your spouse when you're in a small space for weeks at a time. You may find yourself wanting alone time to pursue your hobbies and interests. When you decide to team drive, you give up the possibility of any alone time in your truck. Lack of sleep. To make team driving work, your spouse will have to rest while you complete your shift of driving. Sleeping in a truck cab, especially if your spouse is noisy, can be difficult. As a truck driver, it's essential to have a good night's rest before hitting the road. Getting the right amount of sleep is not only good for your overall health, but it also makes you more alert and cautious when driving. Harder to find trucking insurance. If you decide that team driving's for you and your spouse, you might have trouble finding a commercial truck insurance company that'll write your insurance. When you team drive, your truck never stops. Therefore, the truck is at risk for higher exposure to accidents. Your truck's also more liable to having maintenance issues, which can result in getting violations. Conclusion? Driving with your spouse has many pros and cons. Our advice to you is to take a look at the pros and cons and determine if this is the right career path for you and your spouse. Trucking with your spouse can lead to many great memories. This blog was brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net.
Hi, I'm Shelley Johnson with TNCRadio.live. You know me for the Truckers Network radio show and Women Road Warriors that I co-host with Kathy Tuccaro. We know that life as a driver is not easy. Do you believe in the power of prayer? Whether you're moving down the highway or taking a break, you can take a moment right now to tell God about your hopes, concerns, and gratitude. Do you want someone to pray with? No problem. Just call the TFC Global 24-hour prayer line. It's 866-515-9406. That's 866-515-9406. Or if you're using the TNCRadio.live app, just press the prayer line button to be connected to a prayer warrior who will confidentially pray with you and for you. Thank you, and God bless. I'm Shelley Johnson with Kathy Tuccaro. You can hear us Tuesdays on TNCRadio.live at 8 p.m. Eastern on Women Road Warriors. And don't miss Steve Summers' Overnight Drive right here on TNCRadio.live. Weeknights, midnight to 5 a.m. Eastern. Brought to you by Hot Shot Secret.
Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Taillights with the Baums. I am Angie, and I'm here with Larry. And we were talking just a little bit ago, right before the break, with Ryan and Tanya, and they were talking just a little bit about their company. So one of the questions Larry had asked during the commercial break, actually, was how often do you guys see like speeding tickets that are just a couple miles over the speed limit?
No, well, not often, but California, I mean, if you're going 2 to 3 over, we have seen tickets come through that. And like I said, when you guys were asking, I kind of chuckled a little bit. Like, I thought if you're going 5 over, you're fine. In California, the state's just trying to get as much money as they can. And if you're going 2 or 3 over, you do have a chance of being pulled over. It's kind of wild.
I think a lot of that, especially when it comes to California, has to do with the fact that they've made it a 55 mile an hour state for all semi trucks, and they're sticklers. You'll see the police all over in California, and they're specifically pulling over truckers.
It's crazy. We're doing 55. I do 55 in California. I'm from California, and I know the way those cops are. So I stay at 55, and trucks are passing me left and right, and then I see them pulled over.
Well, and unfortunately, a lot of new truckers, like people who are new to the trucking industry, they don't really understand that, especially if they've never driven in California before, and they're seeing all these signs that say speed limit 65. And so they're going, and then they're calling us because they got a speeding ticket, and they didn't know it until they got explained to by the officer that it was, the speed limit says 65, but trucks can only go 55. So we do get a lot of that type of speeding ticket.
Yeah, there's a 55 mile an hour speed limit sign right after that 65 mile one. So they know.
Yeah, it's almost like they stagger with like almost a 10-foot. You'll see the 65 mile an hour zone sign first, and then about 10 feet later, then you see, trucks can only go 55. So it's pretty tricky.
And also autos with trailers. Anything over 3 axles, basically.
Huh. Yeah, I actually had one. I had one a couple weeks ago. It was an older gentleman who had just gotten a CDL, starting a new profession. He was in his second week, and his job was just to pick up, trying to think where he was going. But yeah, it was literally second week in the truck. He was going 5 over. He got pulled over, and he was freaking out. Like, he's telling me I've never had a speeding ticket. Been driving for over 40 years. I'm new to the truck. Like, what's going on here? And I had to kind of calm him down and reassure him that, we have options here for you to get.
So do you categorize your tickets like from states? Like, what state has the highest amount of tickets that goes through your office?
Tanya, you can speak on this one. I know the answer is California, and it's by a large margin, but you deal with the tickets.
It really depends. It really depends, honestly, on the seasons. And what exactly the officers are looking for, especially, during the winter months, we see a lot of like chain violations and stuff like that up in the mountains and the snow and stuff like that, especially, in early winter and late spring. We get a bunch of that. We do happen to see a lot of tickets in Ohio and California, Georgia. I think those are really our biggest places that we get them, and I don't know if there's just a lot of truck routes that go that way, but I would say those are our top 3 states would be California, Georgia, and Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is ridiculous.
So those are the states to slow down in.
Yeah, do the speed.
But with California,
do the speed to watch your weight.
But with the California, I thought it was by like a wide margin between second place and the amount of tickets that we actually receive.
I can see a lot of speeding tickets in California with 55 from San Diego to Eureka, California. It'll probably take you a day and a half at 55 miles an hour.
Yep.
Now, I was going to ask you, you brought up a good point, Tanya, and I'm sure I can get the answer from you. You were talking about how the tickets vary by the season. If a trucker does get a ticket for perhaps not having chains on when he should have had chains, is that a ticket that you guys can help with?
Yes. So we can help with any tickets that affect your MVR. Like different states have different laws, right? Or different things that affect. So it's kind of crazy because depending on what state you're licensed out of, if you get a seatbelt ticket, it may not affect your MVR in the state you're licensed out of, but it may affect somebody else's if they're licensed out of a different state.
Wow, I thought that was a federal law.
It is a law. It's a federal law to wear your seatbelt, yes. But whether you get points on your license for getting a ticket for not wearing it,
gotcha,
is where each state is different.
And each state has different point systems too.
Every state has different point systems, and if you get pulled over in Pennsylvania and they write you a ticket and they code it one way, and it gets sent to your licensing state, and their code system is just a little bit different, the points could vary. So the officer in Pennsylvania could tell you, yeah, this is a 2-point violation. Don't really worry about it or whatever. And then it gets to your licensing state, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point violation. And you're like, why is this 4 points on my license when the arresting officer or whatever told me it was only 2? Well, it's because the way it transfers from one state to another is different.
So if I wanted to be No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's why I fully believe in a CDL protection program, because, you get pulled over and the first thing you're going to do is call us, and we're going to have the answers at our fingertips. We're going to say, don't sign that ticket. Or yes, you can sign the ticket, but request this box, because, we understand it a little bit different. And some officers, not all of them, but some of them, will bring you a ticket that's already got a box checked guilty and just say, sign this ticket. And then you can't do anything with it because you've already admitted your guilt to the ticket, and you can't unadmit your guilt.
That's what Ryan was telling me. He said, never, ever, never, 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 ever sign a ticket.
And I didn't know that until I met you guys this weekend, and that was good information.
Well, the main state that we're seeing out of is the state of New Mexico, where I don't know if they're necessarily tricking people, but they do have a box where you can
and you can visit their website at protectmycdl.com. When we come back, we're going to talk to them a little bit more and get some more information, because not only do they help with your tickets on your CDL, but they also have a membership program that gives you a lot of great benefits. And so we're going to go over that when we come back from the commercial break. So stick around. You are listening to Taillights with the Baums, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Cortman, and now for the Mental Health Minute. In the last video, we were talking about Hans Selye at the University of Montreal and how he discovered this general adaptation syndrome, which has 3 different distinct stages. The first stage, the alarm reaction. And we were built for this alarm reaction, this fight or flight. We can do this many times throughout our lives and never have it be a big issue. The problem is when the perceived threat, the stressor, stays with us. And then we go into a second stage called resistance. In resistance, we're fighting that stressor in high gear. We continue to fight and fight and fight to protect our system from some type of perceived stressor. Like what? Well, sometimes we have chronic financial problems. We're underemployed, or the bills just keep coming in and we don't have enough to pay them off. And sometimes we have a high conflict relationship or high conflict marriage that ends up a high conflict divorce. Or sometimes we have a sick child or some type of illness in the family that we can't get an accurate diagnosis, let alone successful treatment. Whatever it is, the stressor continues, and we continue to resist that in the second stage, which leads to a third stage, which is exhaustion. And according to Selye, that's when we break down. We have our depressive episodes, or we begin to be dominated by an anxiety disorder, or sometimes we have these psychophysiological symptoms like migraine headaches, or we even have issues that require years of stress, like Parkinson's disease. We have things that are caused by the wear and tear of the body over time. That's the third stage of stress, exhaustion. Now, this logically leads to a fourth stage, which is disease, and then a fifth stage, which is death. Stress over a long period of time ages us, breaks us down, and leads us to death. I'll talk to you in the next video on how we could avoid that.
At Hotshot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
diesel fuel cetane levels.
The cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hotshot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts.
Hotshot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hotshot Secret, powered by science.
Industry movement Trucking Moves America Forward is telling the story of the industry. Our safety champions, the women of trucking, independent contractors, the next generation of truckers, and more. Help us promote the best of our industry. Share your story and what you love about trucking. Share images of a moment you're proud of. And join us on social media. Learn more at truckingmovesamerica.com.
Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Taillights with the Baums. I am Angie.
And I'm back. I'm Larry. Welcome in.
We were talking during the show. We've been talking with Tanya and Ryan. They are from ORDP. I want to give you guys their website address again. It's protectmycdl.com if you'd like more information. And we're going to go over the membership program that they offer here in just a minute. But I did want to say during our last episode, we were talking about how do not sign your tickets or admit guilt on your tickets, because once you do that, it's very hard or almost impossible for you to get that ticket off your record. And during the commercial break, I received quite a few text messages from truckers listening that had no idea that that was a thing. So that was a good thing to bring up.
And I'm one of them. I did not have a clue.
So
That's was true. I just want to remember to not argue with the officer. But yes, and we have seen cases. I hate to throw New Mexico under the bus, but on a New Mexico ticket, there are 4 boxes, and an officer will go back to his car and write out the ticket, and he or she will sometimes check the I admit my guilt box before he even brings the ticket back up to you and just tell you to sign your ticket. So always read your ticket.
Yeah,
it is.
I unfortunately had an individual that happened to, and because of the points he carried, he actually lost his job over, and it was one of the hardest conversations I've ever had. Like, 60-year-old dude. It just getting off that call, like I had to take a 10-minute walk just to clear my mind because
that is so sad.
We deal with situations like this where it's just like can't do.
So I have a question about something like that. The officer comes back, he marks guilty. Now, can you mark right by it, say, officer, check this box? Like put a note right there.
I
The officer
believe-
check this box.
I believe the correct response is that you tell the officer, no, I'm not admitting my guilt, and ask him to reprint it without that box checked, or for, oh my gosh, okay, hold on. You put me on the spot with that one, Larry. Come on.
I'm sorry, but reprinting a new ticket instead of putting a comment there is a great idea. That's a lot better than my idea. That's why you're doing what you're
I
doing.
believe that's what you're supposed to do. I believe you're supposed to ask them to, because the court system can tell that it was printed check marked. So
that makes sense.
Like they didn't give you the option. So
That makes sense.
And before we get into something else, I just wanted to mention real quick that a lot of the drivers also don't know, if you're getting an inspection report or an examination report when you're pulled over, right? And the officer says to you, all right, I'm going to go easy on you. I'm just going to give you a warning ticket.
Oh, yeah.
No.
A ticket.
Yes. That is a great point.
Always.
Yes. Never.
Because
never
we can
take
take the ticket. Right. We can take the ticket and we can fight that in a court of law and then get it removed from your examination or your inspection report. But in a court of law, you are innocent until proven guilty. But in the eyes of the FMCSA, the CSA, the data queue, the DAC reports, and all of that, you are guilty until you can prove your innocence. And that is a whole lot harder to do.
And you cannot fight a warning.
You cannot fight a warning. I mean, we have been able to get some of those points removed off of inspection reports. I spend a lot of my day researching and doing that. But, especially now with dash cams and stuff, if an officer gives you a warning for speeding and you have a dash cam and you have, your electronic logs that actually capture your speed, and the company will give me access to that and I can submit that on a data queue challenge, I can get some of those removed. But always, I know it's backwards and people don't want to do it, but I say it only if you're getting an inspection or examination report and the officer says, I'm just going to give you a warning, ask them for a ticket.
That's crazy too, because I didn't know that until I actually went through one of my classes with FedEx, and I had no idea. And that was one of the questions that I got wrong in my exam, and they had to explain that to me. I'm like, I never would have known that.
Yeah, it's backwards. Who asks for a ticket?
Yes. Well, we were going to go over a little bit too. So you guys offer more than just, fighting tickets for truck drivers. You actually have a whole membership program. And I figured I'd let one of you guys kind of discuss a little bit about that.
So
Yes.
we've got a couple of different options. So if individuals just want to sign up and have tickets protected, I guess moving forward, the monthly cost would be $38.95. If you go quarterly, you save around $70 a year. So the quarterly option's $100, and if you want to pay for the whole year, it's $394. We do help if you have a pre-existing ticket. The only difference would be there's an additional $225 deposit, plus you'd be responsible for the lawyer cost on this first ticket, which would be a minimum of $175. Also, for larger fleets, we do have a separate program. It is our complete fleet program, where the company can basically insure the asset. So it doesn't matter who's driving. We don't need a driver tied to it. But if somebody gets pulled over in their vehicle, we will take care of it, just like our classic program. But that's more if you're a safety director or a company owner of some larger fleet. We do have that option as well. But yeah, with our classic program for you just individual drivers, covers the spouse. You do have additional benefits like hotel, rental car discounts, and then we have, I'm trying to think, we've got access to Aetna. You got different discounts with Aetna for dental and vision. It's not an insurance program, but it's also thrown on there. But yeah, and I think there's 25% discount on your medical prescriptions through Saving RX as well. So it's not just a legal plan. There's all other stuff included.
Looks like also tax and financial service discounts through eTrekker Tax, which is perfect time. Tax time.
And I like
exactly.
that your house is included.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
ahead,
what Ryan means by that, so like, let's say Angie didn't have her CDL. Larry, you did. You're out driving. Angie's at home without a CDL, running errands. She has a lead foot. She gets a speeding ticket in your personal vehicle. We're gonna give her an attorney to fight that as well. So with your membership fee, if you get a ticket that affects your MVR, or your spouse gets a ticket in their MVR, that affects their MVR, Open Road covers 100% of the attorney costs. So as long as you pay your monthly membership or your quarterly membership, as long as your membership fees are paid, Open Road covers 100% of attorney costs. It doesn't matter if you get 1 ticket a year or 12 tickets a year. We cover all attorney costs. So it's just like having an attorney on retainer 24/7.
Yeah. And one thing I want to point out about that, because there are a couple other companies that do that do have kind of hidden things where they'll throw in some random deductible where you'll have to pay this as well, where it's a lower monthly fee, but they don't really kind of go into fine detail about that stuff. With our program, it's just like Tanya said.
So everything is covered. There's no hidden fees.
No hidden fees. And with that, that means if you get the ticket, we're going to cover the attorney fees for it. If you get the inspection report, once that ticket is dismissed or reduced and you send us the inspection report, we're going to, it's included in your membership, where one of us is going to go online and we're going to go onto the FMCSA website. We're going to challenge that for you. So we're going to help your MVR go down. We're going to help your PSP score go down, your company's CSA score go down. With our attorneys, I think across the entire U.S., there may be like a 2% of courts that still make a driver appear in court if he has representation, he or she has representation, or unless it's a bigger thing where it was a massive accident or whatever. So most of the time, in the majority of our cases, the driver does not have to be at court. The attorney just goes ahead and takes care of it. So that keeps you guys on the road. You don't have to worry about getting a load back through there on your court date. So we just want to keep you guys driving. We want to do everything we can to help you guys stay moving.
Okay, you guys are amazing. We are definitely going to sign up. Now, one more question. So I have my CDL. Angie has her CDL. Yeah. We both drive together. So only one of us needs to sign up. Is that correct?
Wow.
100%.
That's awesome. We are definitely signing up.
I mean, if you just take your the annual miles you drive and divide it by the cost of the plan, it comes out to pennies.
Yes.
Just for the protection. And just to give you an example, like if you're driving through the state of Montana or Wyoming, they don't have traffic courts, so you have to go to trial. So you're looking at $2,500 minimum for the lawyer. So if you're driving through those northwestern states frequently, it is well recommended, because now you don't have to worry about coughing up $2,500. I mean, to me, that's a month of my living right there to pay for housing and cable and whatnot. Just to kind of put that in maybe 2 months. I wish I had a $2,500. I'd be rolling.
That $400 membership for a year.
Yeah,
$400 membership will pay for one ticket.
And one thing I want to point out, because a lot of people, the most popular one's going quarterly, because it's just like Netflix. There's no contracts. So if you want to travel, because we have a lot of drivers from the Middle East and Somalia or whatnot that do go back home, and they take 2 months off. So they sign up for the monthly plan or they go for the quarterly option. And then when it's time to go on vacation, they call and say, "Hey, I'm going to call back in a couple months and get us going." I don't need this right now because I'm going to be out of the country. No questions asked. There's no hoopla to jump through. It's like, all right, call us when you're ready, when you're back.
So you could do month to month, quarterly, by year, or
for a year.
That is awesome.
No by year. So just the three options, and there's no contract. So if for some reason you have to stop driving for a while, you just call us and we stop the automatic deductions until you're ready to start driving again.
Yep.
Awesome. We're going to take another quick commercial break. We've been talking with Tanya and Ryan. Again, the website to visit is protectmycdl.com. When we come back, we'll finish up the last 15 minutes and talk to them a little bit more about their program. You're listening to Taillights with the Baums.
This blog on tncradio.live is brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net. 5 easy steps to help truckers stay awake while driving. Driving 11 hours a day, 7 days a week can be emotionally and physically exhausting. Sleep's a very important part of a long-haul truck driver's life. Being well rested and alert makes driving a lot more safe for both the trucker and other drivers on the road. Getting enough sleep may sound easier than it seems. Living on the road makes it difficult to get the recommended 8 hours of sleep. In fact, it's common for truckers to not get 8 hours of sleep due to the 11-hour work shift. To help, we've put together 5 tips to help truckers stay awake while driving. Take vitamins. One way truckers can stay awake while driving is by taking vitamins. Not only are vitamins good energy boosters, they have tons of other health benefits too. Vitamin B helps with fatigue, depression, mood boosting, and muscle weakness. Consider adding vitamins to your morning routine. Eat healthy. An unhealthy diet has a huge impact on one's overall health. Jennifer Sachek, PhD now, says our bodies rely on the energy and nutrients we get from food. So what you eat, and how and when you eat it, can either drain you or sustain you. It might be more convenient to stop at a fast food restaurant or truck stop, but constantly eating junk food drains your energy. Check out our blog on quick and healthy meals for truckers for healthy food ideas. Take a nap. Before you hit the road, consider taking a short 20-minute nap. Several studies have shown that a quick nap immediately increases alertness and gives a boost in cognitive performance. Stay hydrated. Water has many health benefits. One benefit is reducing the chance of being fatigued. Drinking a pint of cold water is a great way to refresh yourself and stay more alert. Listen to upbeat music. Listening to upbeat music will have you tapping your foot, singing along, and staying alert in no time. Avoid listening to relaxing music or audiobooks. These tend to make drivers more relaxed and sleepy. Truckers have a very demanding job. In order to deal with the stress and demand, it's very important to get the right amount of sleep. Hopefully, these 5 tips will help truckers stay awake while driving. This blog has been brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net.
Be sure to catch the Truckers Network radio show with your host, Shelley Johnson, weekdays at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on tncradio.live.
Hello, friends. This is Josh Banker from Clutch Time Sports on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern right here on tncradio.live. We know that life as a driver is not easy, but do you believe in the power of prayer? Whether you're moving down the highway or taking a break, you can take a moment right now to tell God about your needs, maybe something that concerns you or something you're just thankful for. You need someone to pray with you? No problem. Just call the TFC Global 24-hour prayer line at 866-515-9406. Or if you're using the tncradio.live app, just press the prayer line button to be connected to a prayer warrior who will confidentially pray with you and for you. Also, if you're willing to volunteer your time to help pray with and for others, then send us an email at info@tncradio.live and let us know. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Taillights with the Baums. I am Angie.
And I'm Larry.
And we've been talking with Tanya and Ryan during this episode. They are from ORDP, and I do want to give you that website again. It is protectmycdl.com. And I wanted to give you guys just a few more minutes to kind of explain to everybody who may be coming on what exactly your company does and a little bit about the membership and how much it costs and how they can join.
So what we do is we are a CDL protection, legal protection service. When CDL holders get tickets and inspection, when they get tickets, what we do is our program has a network of attorneys that specialize in traffic and CDL matters. And we assign we hook the drivers up with those attorneys to take care of those tickets, get them dismissed or reduced so they don't have quite so many points on their record. If you get inspection reports with them or without them, we help you challenge those in the FMCSA website. And as far as pricing and stuff like that, Ryan?
Yeah, so for individual drivers, it would be $38.95 a month. If you go every 3 months, it's $100. And if you want to pay for the year, it's $100. If you are a safety director listening in and want to know more about the fleet protection, where we just cover the vehicles that you own, so it doesn't matter who's driving, if somebody gets a ticket, please feel free to give me a call. My direct line is 913-348-3138. Again, my name's Ryan, 913-348-3138.
Perfect.
And we want to remind everybody also that with your membership, it does come with some other discounts too. So you can get up to 25% discount on your medical prescriptions through Save RX Advantage program. You can get up to a 20% discount at over 6,000 choice hotel properties like your Comfort Inn, Comfort Suites, Clarion, Econo Lodge.
Okay, I got a question, but is Moxie one of them?
No. Marriott's not on there.
I wish.
I know. That's where we all stayed at this weekend.
Not me.
Not poor Ryan. He had to Uber back to his. You also,
20% discount on all Red Roof Inns.
and you also get car rental discounts at major agencies like Avis, Hertz, and National. And then this is tax time, so you also get tax and financial service discounts through eTrucker Tax. And last but not least, very important for all truckers.
Can you read that?
I know. Vision and dental savings through Vital Savings through Aetna. Oh, my vision's bad. I'm going to have to get glasses this year.
And don't get a ticket not wearing your glasses if it says it on your license.
Yes, I did not know that was a ticket that's hard to get off your record. So that was a good one to know as well.
Yes, because that is actually, that is considered a driving without a valid CDL.
Wow. We want to thank you guys so much for being on. So we're actually going to have Tanya and Ryan on here quite often. I'm actually going to schedule them again right after the show. So we'll get them scheduled maybe a month or so. But you can visit their website at protectmycdl.com. And I want to take a few minutes at the end of the show just to talk to Tom a little bit, because he actually has some pretty big news this week with Truckers Final Mile that happened at Mass. And so, Tom, I want to give you a couple minutes just to kind of discuss what happened there.
Oh, it was so great. We had a concert put on by Taylor Barker on Friday afternoon, and we brought up Robert Palm, who founded Truckers Final Mile. For a lot of people may not know that when a truck driver is severely injured or killed during his normal work time, or even just passes away from natural causes, many truck driving companies, all they really care about is getting their truck back and getting the person back home and properly buried. They don't care. Sorry, they just don't. Or they don't have even if they do care, they don't have the financial resources to do it. So about 10 years ago, Robert Palm put together this fantastic mission to bring everybody home. He's brought home 518 drivers over the course of the last 10 years, but at about $3,000 a pop. He did about 100 of them last year. This is one guy who's been doing this with the help of a couple of friends for a while. He's now merging that in with TFC Global, and really exciting stuff. We talked to a lot of different companies, a lot of different people. If everybody comes through who said they would be doing something to help out, we may have picked up between $50,000 and $60,000. But again, that's just a drop in the bucket. So we're looking to continue to grow that area. So you can go to truckersfinalmile.com and check that out. And I'm sorry, .org. I said .com. And check that out. Learn more about it. It's an important mission. It's an important way. I mean, I know there's a lot of pressure on everybody these days to support different charities, but this is something unique and special and something we need to support.
Absolutely. And it costs on average anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 a driver. So please visit truckersfinalmile.org and make a donation today.